What's up guys, my name is Anthony and in today's video I'm going to be giving you guys my first impressions of F1 2021. At the time that I'm recording this video, you guys who didn't get the deluxe edition of the game will be getting the game tomorrow, so I thought this would be the perfect time for me to give you a little bit of an insight into what I think about the game now that I've played it for a few days. So if you enjoy this video, make sure to smash that like button and let's get straight into this video. So in this video I'm going to keep things pretty simple and I'm only going to be talking about the gameplay, the multiplayer and just my general overall experience, as I've only had a couple of days to play the game so far. So getting straight into the gameplay, I'm going to break that down into three subsections as well, and I'm going to be talking about the handling, the AI and the pace of the cars. Now when it comes to the damage model, I've not really had enough time to really delve deep into the damage model and how it affects the car and stuff like that, so I won't be talking about that here. So let's get straight into handling. So on F1 2021, I definitely think that the handling has taken a step up. So far, it feels like the skill gap will be higher on this game than it was the previous one, meaning that good drivers will be rewarded and bad drivers will be punished, which in my personal opinion is actually a good thing, because in motorsport, your individual skill can and will set you apart from other drivers, even if you're not driving the best car on the grid. In addition to that, the car also feels as if it's planted to the ground, especially on my experience with PC on the wheel. The force feedback definitely feels as if they've taken a little bit of time to put some work into improving that. And the main thing that you guys will instantly know is different are the setups of the cars. Now the setups have definitely taken a drastic change on this year's game. For example, in F1 2020, you would have 50% and 55% on the on and off throttle differentials. On this game, it will not work. Your car will lock up, especially the rear tires, and you will spin. The curbs as well are a lot more lethal on this game than they are on the previous one. The car can spin on the curbs, and the curbs are a little bit more aggressive than they were on the previous game, which means that you have to change how you drive a little bit on this year's game. So that's going to be interesting to see what curbs people decide that they want to take and what curbs people decide that they want to miss, especially the esports drivers as well. It'll be interesting to see how they take the game. So far, I've only had time to do two 25% races at the time of recording this video, one of them being the gameplay that you're watching in this video. And so far, I have to say I'm quite impressed with the AI. The lack of fight in last year's game was the main reason that I stopped doing my team and rarely did any offline based content. They were easy to overtake, very predictable, they never went for any moves, they never went for any defensive moves, and you could basically just run through them even on 110% AI. However, on this game, the AI are actually quite aggressive. They will fight for positions, they will fight for defensive moves, and it will make my team, in my opinion, a lot more fun to record this year. In addition to that, the pace of the AI has also taken a step up as well. In those two races that I've done, I used 110% in the first race and I used 107% in the second race, and you can instantly tell that they've worked on the AI, because the AI are a lot quicker on this game, which is good to see, because combining that with their willingness to fight for positions is going to make racing against the AI a lot more fun this year. Now in this next segment, you guys might be a little bit confused because you've literally just heard me praise the pace of the AI. However, when I talk about that, I'm talking about the pace of the AI relative to the actual player themselves. However, in this section, I'm going to be talking about the pace of the car, which in my personal opinion is my main complaint when it comes to the gameplay. I feel as if the pace of the cars in this year's game are too quick. For example, on F1 2020, my PB at Bahrain was a 1 minute 24.6, and though I could have easily improved that, I've already done a 1 minute 24.7 on F1 2021 on the first day. Now considering that the 2021 cars in real life are slower than the 2020 cars, this is something I feel needs to be fixed, though I don't think it will be because the game's already out. So for the multiplayer side of things, I'm going to keep it quite short because I've only experienced a few races so far online and my experiences are not looking great. Honestly, the servers don't really look like they've been worked on, which is very disappointing considering how many issues community ran leagues and even F1 esports had last year. If you watched F1 esports last year, you would know about the Jarno Otmir David situation, and there were a lot more situations like that in F1 esports as well, and especially in community ran leagues. There were so many issues that happened on the previous game, so the fact that it doesn't look like they've worked on the servers is very disappointing, because that means us league racers and F1 esports drivers are going to have to go through another year of experiencing these minor yet painful issues. And another big issue that I was facing when I played online last night was screen freezes. Now this could only be an issue for me, but I was experiencing a lot of screen freezes when playing online last night at the time of recording this video, which I didn't experience when I was playing offline. So I'm hoping that if it is something that people are experiencing, that it gets fixed in the next patch. So overall, I've had a great experience so far. I think the game, especially in terms of gameplay, has taken a massive step up from the previous one. However, there are a lot of underlying issues in the game that hardcore players will have to go another year experiencing, which is very, very disappointing, especially if you want to get into League Racing, having to experience all of that stuff. As for the gameplay, as I said, I'm enjoying it a lot, and if you haven't picked the game up already, I definitely recommend that you do it because it is a fun experience. So I hope that this video gave you a decent insight into F1 2021. If it did, make sure to smash the like button. And if you want to check out any more F1 2021 content from myself, make sure to wait until the end screen to check out my Team episode, which went out yesterday, and my very first F1 2021 video. And if you stick around by subscribing to the channel, if you're new, you're going to be seeing a Bahrain track guide in a couple of days. So I definitely recommend you stick around for that. And I'll see you guys in my next video.